Hello, I'm Dr. James Wilson, and welcome to Senior Vitality Clinic. Today I'm going to help you understand 5 brain-healthy habits that research shows can help keep your mind sharp as you age, so you can have better conversations with your healthcare team about cognitive health. If you're watching this, you probably want to maintain your mental clarity and independence for as long as possible. Maybe you've noticed some forgetfulness, or perhaps you've watched friends or family members struggle with memory issues. The good news is that science has identified specific habits that can make a real difference in brain health. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which daily activities have the strongest scientific support for protecting your brain. You'll learn what researchers have discovered about each habit, how much time you need to invest, and most importantly, how to start incorporating these practices into your daily routine. I'll also give you specific questions to ask your doctor about brain health at your next appointment. Let's start with a fact that might surprise you. Your brain can continue forming new connections throughout your entire life. This ability, called neuroplasticity, means it's never too late to start protecting your cognitive function. Before we look at the 5 habits, let's talk about what happens to our brains as we age and why these particular habits matter. Your brain naturally changes with age. Starting around age 30, the brain begins to slowly shrink, particularly in areas important for learning and complex mental activities. The hippocampus, which is crucial for forming new memories, can lose about 1 to 2% of its volume each year after age 60. Blood flow to the brain also decreases slightly, and communication between nerve cells can slow down. These changes don't mean cognitive decline is inevitable. Many people maintain sharp minds well into their 90s and beyond. The difference often comes down to lifestyle factors, the daily choices we make about how we treat our brains. Common misconceptions about brain aging need to be addressed. First, many people believe serious forgetfulness is a normal part of aging. It's not. While processing speed might slow slightly and it might take a bit longer to recall names, significant memory loss is not normal aging. It's a sign to talk with your doctor. Second, people often think genetics determines everything about brain aging. While genetics play a role, research from the Alzheimer's Association shows that up to 40% of dementia cases could be prevented or delayed through lifestyle changes. That's nearly half of all cases potentially avoidable through the choices you make every day. Third, many believe that brain training games are the best way to maintain cognitive function. While these games can be fun and may help with specific skills, research shows that physical exercise and social engagement often provide greater benefits for overall brain health. Why is this particularly important after 60? Your brain becomes more vulnerable to damage from inflammation, oxidative stress, and reduced blood flow as you age. At the same time, your brain's repair mechanisms become less efficient. The habits we'll discuss today work by addressing these specific age-related changes. They increase blood flow, reduce inflammation, promote the growth of new brain cells, and strengthen the connections between existing neurons. The research I'll share today comes from major studies published in journals like The Lancet, JAMA Neurology, and the Journal of the American Geriatric Society. These aren't small studies with a few dozen participants. We're talking about research involving thousands of people followed for many years. Sorcerer and habit number 1, regular physical exercise, the brain's best medicine. Let's start with what might be the single most powerful habit for brain health: regular physical exercise. A 2020 study published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings followed 2,000 adults for over 20 years and found that those who exercise regularly in midlife had a 30% lower risk of dementia later in life. But here's what makes exercise so special for your brain. It works through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. When you exercise, your body produces a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain. It helps existing brain cells survive and encourages new ones to grow. Exercise also increases blood flow to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products more efficiently. The type of exercise matters less than consistency. A study from the University of British Columbia found that regular aerobic exercise, the kind that gets your heart pumping, appears to boost the size of the hippocampus. Walking briskly for 30 minutes, 5 times per week, was enough to see benefits. That's just 150 minutes per week, which matches the CDC's minimum recommendation for older adults. But resistance training helps too. Research published in the Archives of Internal Medicine showed that strength training twice a week improved cognitive function in older adults with mild cognitive impairment. The participants didn't need heavy weights. They used resistance bands and bodyweight exercises. Here's something crucial. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights. The key is finding activities you can do consistently. Swimming, dancing, gardening, tai chi all count as beneficial exercise. The best exercise for your brain is the one you'll actually do regularly. Before starting any new exercise program, talk to your doctor about what's safe for you. Ask specifically about your target heart rate during exercise and whether you have any conditions that might limit certain activities. Your doctor can help you create an exercise plan that's both safe and effective for your individual situation. Nutrition. Habit number 2. Mediterranean-style eating pattern. The second habit involves what you put on your plate. Multiple large-scale studies have shown that following a Mediterranean-style eating pattern is associated with better cognitive function and lower dementia risk. The PREDIMED study, published in JAMA Internal Medicine, followed over 7,000 people for nearly 5 years. Those who followed a Mediterranean diet, supplemented with extra virgin olive oil or nuts, showed better cognitive function compared to those on a low-fat diet. The differences were significant enough that researchers concluded this eating pattern could help prevent cognitive decline. What exactly does Mediterranean-style eating mean? It emphasizes vegetables and fruits at most meals, whole grains instead of refined ones, fish twice a week, especially fatty fish like salmon, beans and legumes several times per week, nuts and seeds daily, about a handful, olive oil as the primary fat source, limited red meat once a week or less, minimal processed foods. The MIND diet, which combines Mediterranean and DASH diet principles specifically for brain health, has shown even more promising results. Research from Rush University Medical Center found that people who followed the MIND diet closely had brains that functioned as if they were 7.5 years younger. Why do these eating patterns protect the brain? They're rich in antioxidants that fight inflammation and oxidative stress. The omega-3 fatty acids from fish support brain cell membranes. The fiber from whole grains and vegetables helps maintain stable blood sugar, which is important, because the brain uses glucose as its primary fuel source. It's important to note that no single food is a magic bullet. The benefit comes from the overall pattern of eating. Also, supplements can't fully replace the benefits of whole foods. A review in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that most vitamin supplements don't prevent cognitive decline in healthy older adults. Always discuss major dietary changes with your doctor, especially if you take medications. Some foods can interact with blood thinners, diabetes medications, and other drugs. Your doctor might also recommend seeing a registered dietitian who can help you adapt these principles to your specific health needs and preferences. Habit number 3, quality sleep, your brain's cleaning time. Sleep isn't just rest, it's when your brain performs critical maintenance. During deep sleep, your brain literally washes itself, clearing out waste products including proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. Research from Boston University, published in Science, showed that during deep sleep, waves of cerebrospinal fluid wash through the brain, carrying away metabolic waste products. People who consistently get poor sleep have higher levels of tau and beta-amyloid proteins, both linked to Alzheimer's disease. The National Sleep Foundation recommends 7 to 8 hours of sleep for adults over 65, but quality matters as much as quantity. A study in neurology followed nearly 8,000 people and found that those who took longer than 30 minutes to fall asleep or woke up frequently during the night had a 45% higher risk of developing dementia. Common sleep problems after 60 include taking longer to fall asleep, waking up multiple times during the night, waking up too early, not feeling rested even after a full night's sleep. Here are evidence-based strategies to improve sleep quality. Sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Your brain thrives on routine. Light exposure. Get bright light in the morning and dim lights in the evening. This helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Temperature. Keep your bedroom between 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body temperature needs to drop slightly for optimal sleep. Limit naps. If you must nap, keep it under 30 minutes and before 3 p.m. Avoid screens. The blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs can interfere with sleep hormones. Stop using them at least an hour before bed. If you snore loudly, gasp for air during sleep, or feel exhausted despite getting enough hours of sleep, talk to your doctor about sleep apnea. This condition, where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep, affects up to 40% of older adults and significantly increases dementia risk if left untreated. Treatment with a CPAP machine can dramatically improve both sleep quality and cognitive function. Habit number 4, social connection and mental stimulation. Humans are social creatures, and our brains need social interaction to stay healthy. A landmark study from Harvard that has followed people for over 80 years found that the quality of relationships is one of the strongest predictors of health and happiness in later life. Research published in The Lancet showed that social isolation increases dementia risk by about 50%. That's comparable to the risk from physical inactivity or diabetes. Another study in PLOS medicine found that people with strong social relationships had a 50% greater likelihood of survival over 7.5 years. But it's not just about preventing problems. Social engagement actively benefits your brain. When you interact with others, multiple brain regions work together. You're processing language, reading facial expressions, managing emotions, and accessing memories. It's like a full workout for your brain. Mental stimulation through learning new skills shows similar benefits. A study from the University of Texas at Dallas had older adults learn quilting or digital photography. After 3 months, participants showed improvements in memory that were similar to people 30 years younger. Here are practical ways to stay socially and mentally engaged. Join a group. Book clubs, walking groups, volunteer organizations, or hobby clubs provide regular social contact with structure. Learn something new. Take a class at your local community college, library, or senior center. Many offer free or low-cost programs specifically for older adults. Stay connected with family. Regular phone calls or video chats count. Schedule weekly calls if family lives far away. Volunteer. Helping others provides purpose and social connection. Studies show volunteers have lower rates of depression and cognitive decline. Pursue hobbies that challenge you. Learning a musical instrument, a new language, or taking up painting all provide cognitive benefits. The key is choosing activities that are challenging but not frustrating. If something is too easy, you won't get much benefit. If it's too hard, you might give up. The sweet spot is activities that require effort but are still enjoyable. If you're dealing with hearing loss, addressing it is crucial for maintaining social connections. Untreated hearing loss is associated with faster cognitive decline, partly because it leads to social isolation. Talk to your doctor about hearing tests and whether hearing aids might help you stay engaged with others. Habit number 5, stress management and blood pressure control. Chronic stress and high blood pressure are silent brain killers. They damage blood vessels, reduce blood flow to the brain, and can lead to small strokes that accumulate over time. The Framingham Heart Study found that people with high blood pressure in midlife had a significantly higher risk of dementia later. Even borderline high blood pressure, 130 to 139 over 80 to 89, increased risk. The good news? Treating high blood pressure can reduce dementia risk by about 20%, according to research in The Lancet Neurology. Stress affects the brain through multiple pathways. It triggers inflammation, disrupts sleep, and causes the release of cortisol, which can damage the hippocampus over time. A study from the University of Wisconsin found that people who perceived stress as harmful to their health had a 43% increased risk of premature death, but only if they believed stress was harmful. This suggests that how we think about and manage stress matters tremendously. Evidence-based stress management techniques include meditation. Just 12 minutes daily of meditation for 8 weeks improved memory and reduced stress in a UCLA study of older adults. Deep breathing. The 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. 8 activates the parasympathetic nervous system, reducing stress hormones. Progressive muscle relaxation. Tensing and releasing muscle groups reduces physical tension and mental stress. Regular monitoring. Check your blood pressure at home. Many pharmacies also offer free blood pressure checks. Know your numbers. Normal blood pressure is less than 120 over 80. Talk to your doctor if your readings are consistently above this. Your doctor might recommend lifestyle changes first: diet, exercise, weight loss, medication. If lifestyle changes aren't enough, regular monitoring to ensure treatment is working. Don't skip blood pressure medications if they're prescribed. Some people worry about side effects, but untreated high blood pressure poses a much greater risk to your brain than properly managed medication side effects. If you experience side effects, talk to your doctor about adjusting your medication rather than stopping it. Now let's make this practical. Here's how to start implementing these habits and what to discuss with your healthcare provider. Week 1 to 2, assessment and planning. Track your current habits for a week. Note your exercise, sleep patterns, and stress levels. Schedule an appointment with your doctor. Questions to ask your doctor. 1. What's my current cardiovascular health status and how might it affect my brain? 2. Are any of my medications affecting my sleep or cognitive function? 3. Should I be screened for sleep apnea or hearing loss? 4. What's my target blood pressure and how often should I check it? 5. Are there specific exercises I should avoid given my health conditions? 6. Should I see a specialist like a neurologist or geriatrician? Week 3 to 4. Start small. Add a 10-minute walk after lunch. Set a consistent bedtime. Call one friend or family member weekly. Add 1 serving of vegetables to dinner. Month 2. Build momentum. Increase walking to 20 minutes. Try 1 new brain-healthy recipe weekly. Join 1 social group or class. Practice 5 minutes of deep breathing daily. Month 3 and beyond, make it sustainable. Work up to 150 minutes of exercise weekly. Establish a regular sleep routine. Maintain weekly social activities. Monitor and record blood pressure regularly. Red flags to report to your doctor immediately. Getting lost in familiar places. Difficulty completing familiar tasks. Confusion about time or place. Problems with words in speaking or writing. Decreased or poor judgment. Withdrawal from work or social activities. Changes in mood or personality. Resources and support. Alzheimer's Association. 24/7 helpline at 1-800-27-23900. National Institute on Aging. www.nia.nih.gov. Your local area agency on aging for community resources, YMCA, or senior centers for exercise programs. Libraries often have free brain health programs. Let's recap the 5 brain-healthy habits backed by research. First, regular physical exercise. Aim for 150 minutes weekly of activities you enjoy. Second, follow a Mediterranean-style eating pattern rich in vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats. Third, prioritize 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep and address any sleep disorders. Fourth, stay socially connected and mentally stimulated through activities that challenge you. Fifth, manage stress and control blood pressure through monitoring and treatment. Remember, every person is different, and what works for one person may not be right for another. Your health history, medications, and individual circumstances all matter. These habits work best when tailored to your specific situation, which is why partnering with your healthcare team is so important. Start with just one habit. Pick the one that seems most manageable for you right now. Small, consistent changes add up to significant benefits over time. Your brain has served you well for decades. These habits are ways to thank it and keep it functioning at its best. Always discuss any changes to your health routine with your doctor before making them. Bring this list of habits to your next appointment and ask which ones might benefit you most given your individual health profile. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Senior Vitality Clinic for more evidence-based health education. We release new videos every week covering topics that matter to your health and independence. Click the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on managing arthritis pain without increasing medication. Take care of yourselves and remember, it's never too late to start protecting your brain health.